Hello and welcome to class. You're here today tuning in because it's that time of the month and you are on your moon cycle. Congratulations! It's a beautiful thing to celebrate and signifies that your body is healthy and it's functioning and it's moving with the natural cycle of the moon and the sun and the earth. While teaching this class today, I am also on my moon cycle, so I hear you, sister. I know it's not easy, and I'm also bloated, I'm also irritable. I just yelled at Flo for something that had nothing to do with anything at all. So, I'm with you, I feel you, and I know that this can be a challenging time of the month. So, the best thing that we can do is to reconnect with our body, to feel that love within, to move so we can have a little bit of relief around the abdominal area and the back. So let's do this class together and we can all feel better together. Almost weekly I get asked the question, is it okay that I practice yoga while I'm on my cycle? Or really, am I allowed to practice yoga when I'm on my cycle? And the answer is yes, absolutely. You are allowed to move in your body, especially when you're on your cycle. And it almost hurts my heart when I hear that question come from women, because we've been taught so much that when we're on our cycle that it's dirty and that we shouldn't move and that we shouldn't be doing things and that we should be restricted. And that's not how I see it at all. The human body is such a beautiful thing to celebrate, and having a natural cycle is also something that we should celebrate. In some lineages of yoga, they don't encourage women to practice yoga when they're on their cycle, and that is something that I absolutely do not agree with, and it's something that I'm very vocal about. There are many things that I respect about lineages of yoga, but this is not one of them. There is, however, one thing that they do mention that I do agree with, is that you have a downward energy when you're menstruating, which is called your apana energy, and that is the energy that's located in your pelvic area, your abdominal area, and that's the energy that is moving downwards to help get the blood out of your body. So this is very important that you want this energy to be moving downward. So in that regard, we want to help assist our body during this moon cycle. We don't want to be going against it. So we're not going to be doing any inversions or anything where we're bringing our legs up above our heart. We'll just be guiding you through a mostly gentle yoga class. There's a little bit of strength in there still, but I'll offer modifications so that you can still skip that if you'd like. Overall, you'll finish this class feeling rejuvenated, hopefully a little less bloating, a little less back pain, and just more relaxed and feeling better in your body. Whenever you're ready, find a comfortable seat, cross-legged, and place your hands on your knees or your thighs, in your lap, and gently close down the eyes. Let's just take a few breaths here as we start to find some stillness in the body. Keep that connection to your breath as you blink open your eyes. Right hand comes down to your side, left arm reaches up over your head, side bend over to the right. As you inhale, really reach with that left arm up over your head. See if you can add a little bit more space between each rib on the left side. Inhale back up through center and over to the left side. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up over your head. 3 easy, soft breaths here. Back up to center, and we'll take a twist over to the right. So the right hand comes behind you. Left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, ease into the twist. So you don't want to pull too much with that left arm. You're assisting a little bit on the twist, but you're not cranking or jerking your spine. Just a little bit of assistance. Release through center and over to the left. Right hand to the left knee, left hand comes behind you. Sit nice and tall as you inhale. Crown of the head reaches up towards the sky, and as you exhale, gently assist into the twist. Release back to center and make your way into a tabletop. So the knees are under the hips, the wrists are under the shoulders, and we'll begin with a few rounds of cat-cow. So come on to the tops of the feet, the toenail polish side of the toes will rest down on the mat. As you inhale, let your belly sink down towards the ground, tip the tailbone up towards the sky as you gaze forward. Now from here we'll do a little bit of a slower variation of cat-cow where we're going to do a spinal segmentation. So we're going to try to move one vertebrae at a time. I know it's nearly impossible to do that, they're all connected, but I just want you to visualize that movement as we go. So we're going to initiate the movement from the tailbone. Keep looking forward and start to tuck the tailbone under, almost like an ocean tide that's flowing from the bottom of your body all the way up the spine to the top. Once you get towards the top, to the point where you can't look forward anymore, then you can tuck your chin to your chest. You made it into cat pose. From here again, keep the chin tucked into the chest. Initiate the movement from the hips. Slowly start to tip your pelvis up and back up towards the sky. Keep looking down at the ground as you imagine that ocean tide moving up through your spine all the way to the top, and you're back in cow pose. Let's do one more round on your own. Move slowly here. Make your way back into cow, and then back to a neutral spine. Tuck the toes under, sit back towards your heels, stretch out your feet, and then bring the hands a little bit closer to the knees. Rotate the hands out so that the fingertips point towards the edge of your mat, and then bring the wrists just a couple inches away from each other. Start to make some circles around the wrists, just for a nice easy, gentle wrist warm-up. Switch directions on the circle. Great, and let's come back into that tabletop position. We'll do a few barrel rolls with our abdominal area. So with that, you're just going to let your sort of belly sink down towards the ground, and then you're going to move your rib cage, if you can imagine, over to the right, and then up towards the sky, and over to the left, and back down. So make a couple circles here, and see if you can find a little bit more space each time that you make that circle. One more round here, moving in the same direction. We meet down at the bottom in cow pose, and then switch directions on that circle. Let's do 3 full circles here. This sort of barrel roll movement. Great job. Again, come onto the tops of the feet, sit the hips back towards the heels, and then walk your hands forward. And from here, we're going to start to shift forward, bend the arms for half chaturanga. You're going to keep the knees down, and then press the hips back to the heels. For just a quick child's pose, we're going to do about 10 of these. So if this is too much for you, if you don't want to press down into chaturanga, then you can also just come up to a tabletop and then back to child's pose. So you do whatever feels good for you. For me, I like to build up a little bit of heat and a little bit of movement, so completely up to you. Just follow the breath, however, and modify it to make it feel good. So inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back child's pose. Shift forward, half chaturanga. Press it back. So you exhale as you come forward, inhale as you come back. Great job. Let's finish with 3, 2, and last one. Great job. Hips come back to the heels, child's pose. Walk the hands forward. Maybe the forehead touches down on the mat. It's okay if it does or doesn't. Either way is fine. With each inhale, maybe you can feel your rib cage press into the inside of your thighs. With each exhale, you relax the shoulders, relax the head. You'll stay here in child's pose, but begin to walk both of your hands off the right side of your mat. You can pin down your left hand with your right. Start to feel this on your back side of your left rib cage, your back. Walk your hands through center and off to the left. Again, option to pin down the right hand with the left. Take a few breaths here. The hands come back to center, child's pose. And then begin to lift the hips back into that tabletop. Bring your knees about hip distance apart, so you'll bring them in just a little bit more. And then walk the hands up. You're going to place both hands on your low back. Now we're not going to be taking full camel for this class or for this sequence. I would like you to just take it easy here. We're just doing a very gentle, easy back bend. So for this, I'd like you to have your fingertips point down towards the ground, and your hands are directly on your low back. So as you start to press the hips forward, at the same time you're going to inhale and imagine that you sort of have a string at your heart, at your sternum, and it's lifting your chest up towards the sky. So as you find more lift in the chest, maybe you can press your hips forward. If you do, engage the glutes a little bit more. We're here for just 3 breaths. You don't need to move the hands down to the feet. You can just stay here as you are. Imagine that lift in the chest. It's not so much as bending the back as you are elongating the front. Beautiful. Inhale, back up. And the hips come down to the heels. Stay here in hero's pose. Again, just a few breaths, especially after such a deep back bend. We always want to take a moment to neutralize the spine. It's often very common that you feel a little bit dizzy or maybe even nauseous after doing a back bend, especially with camel. So we really want to encourage that time and space right afterwards to sit, let the spine recalibrate. So as we're sitting here, I invite you to do a little abdominal massage with me. This is something that I do quite often, especially when it's that time of the month. So I want you to find that space. There's a space between your right hip and your belly button. And it's basically the connection between your large intestine and your small intestine. So you're just going to gently press in that spot and make some small circles. What we're doing here with this abdominal massage is getting things moving to help reduce any bloating that you might be experiencing. Relax any tension that you're holding onto in your abdominal area. And now start to move your hand up towards the base of your rib cage, still on your right side. So now you're coming up your large intestine to your small intestine. And then we're going to move our hand from the right side over to the left. And then back down the descending colon. And then towards the center. Now back over to the right where we started. And then we'll just continue to make these slow circles from the bottom right, up, over, down, over. Let's do 3 of these circles. Sometimes this also helps to do it while you're laying down during Shavasana or half Shavasana. But since we're sitting here anyways, it's nice to add it in. Maybe even close your eyes, give yourself a little bit of extra love here. Feel that touch of your own hand as you're giving your body and your abdominal area some extra love, some kindness, some appreciation for going through what it does every month to keep you healthy, to keep you going, and to celebrate your womanhood. Beautiful. Gently release, open up the eyes. Set your hips off to one side, and then bring both legs forward. We're coming into diamond pose. So the soles of the feet will come together, and as opposed to butterfly where the heels are a lot closer to the hips, I'd like you to bring the heels a little bit farther away. So the hands come down towards the feet. Lengthen the spine first as you inhale, and then exhale, start to melt down towards the ground. Bring the attention back to your breath. If your mind has started to wander into the future or into the past, that's perfectly normal. See if you can let any thoughts go and bring your attention back to this breath. Gentle inhale, gentle, loving exhale. With the help of your hands, press your chest back up. And then straighten both legs out for a seated straddle. You're going to turn towards your right foot, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, start to walk your hands down your leg to any degree. Maybe you can reach the right foot, maybe you can't. Either way is fine. What we're looking for here is not only a stretch in the right hamstring, maybe even the right calf if you have your right foot flexed, but even more so what we're looking for here is to stretch the back left side of our body, our quadratus laborum muscle. So as you're stretching here, if you don't feel anything in the back here and you only feel it in the hamstring, then I would like you to actually back off just a little bit, and then you can start to sort of tip your right shoulder down towards the ground, and then extend and reach your left arm up over your head. So it's almost more of a side bend. Maybe you can reach your right foot with your left hand. Again, it's fine if you can't. You're just exploring movement here and seeing what feels good in your body. Gently release. Wherever you are, come back up to center. And then make your way over to the left side. Either turn towards the left foot, reach both hands in that direction. Or again, if you want to increase the stretch in that QL muscle right above your back right hip on your lower back,
Then you can tip the left shoulder and reach your right arm up over your head. Gently release. Come back up to a seat. Then hold on to the backs of the knees, and with the help of the hands and the arms, lift the knees up. Great. Make your way onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Be so proud of yourself for showing up today, for moving your body even when you maybe don't feel so good. It's amazing that you're continuing to invest in yourself, to invest in your health, and to tune into your body and do what makes it feel good. It's so important. And you absolutely deserve to feel good. Bring both legs all the way over to the right. Let them rest down on the ground or on a pillow if you'd like. And extend your left arm out to your side. Supine twist. If you've taken my classes before, then you are already very familiar with my philosophy on deepening your practice or forcing your body into any position. But in case you have not taken my class before, I will remind you that it doesn't matter how deep you can come into a pose. You can't do yoga right or wrong. As long as you're moving your body, you're connecting with your breath, you're having that moment of introspection and exploring the mind, connecting with yourself, that's all yoga. It doesn't matter if you can touch your toes or do any crazy advanced poses. What matters is that you're focusing on the present moment. You're giving yourself some love. And you're feeling that deep expression and joy and enthusiasm for life that really comes from the inside. It's nothing that is presented to you from your surroundings. It's rooted from within. With the help of your right hand, bring your knees back up to center. Hug the knees into the chest just to neutralize the spine. And then take both legs over to the left side. And the right arm reaches out to the right. With each exhale, try to relax any tension that you're holding on to, especially in this pose. It's very common to hold tension in the toes or in the hands or in the face. So see if you can just relax. Surrender the weight of your body to Mother Earth. If there's anything that doesn't feel comfortable, like maybe your hip, and just make any adjustments. As we're making our way closer and closer to Shavasana and the end of this class, maybe there were some poses that we did that felt really, really good for you in your body. So even when this class ends, maybe this evening or later today, you can always just come down onto the ground and do those poses again. Especially during this time, it's really important to slow down, to listen to your body, and to move it in ways that feel good. again, with the help of the hand, bring the knees back up. And then hold on to one knee with each hand, and you're just going to make some big circles with the legs, with the knees. You can almost visualize that you're massaging the back of your pelvis into the ground. Switch directions on the circle. And a little tip I will give you, if you're indulging in any treats this evening, which I absolutely recommend that you do, I will probably devour an entire pint of plant-based ice cream myself this evening. But if you do indulge, then I recommend that you do so with plant-based foods. Dairy is incredibly challenging for your digestive system, and it can really just make your bloating so much worse. So if you do have ice cream, which I absolutely encourage, please see if you can make it plant-based. If you've never tried plant-based ice cream before, give it a try. You're going to love it. Actually, comment below and let me know if you tried it for the first time, because it's amazing and I can very easily eat an entire pint every time I'm on my moon cycle. I'm actually very excited for it. So indulge this evening. Take care of yourself. You deserve it. Great. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. And then release the heels to the corners of your mat as you melt into Shavasana. Palms face up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in, fill the lungs all the way up. And exhale, open mouth, release, relax, and melt. As you continue to bring your attention to the breath, just take a moment to notice any subtle differences in your body, in your breath, maybe in the mind, having a little bit more clarity, feeling a little bit more love for yourself and for your beautiful body, for all the work that it goes through for you. You should really be so proud of yourself. I encourage you to stay here in Shavasana for at least 2 minutes, but I'll be ending the video here. Thank you so much for joining me here for this practice. Maybe I'll see you here on the mat again for the same class tomorrow, and here for your entire cycle. Maybe I'll see you here again next month. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Be kind to your heart. Be kind to your mind. And I'll see you again on the mat very soon. Lots of love and spaciousness and gratitude headed your way. Namaste.